What's up, beautiful people? It's Mike James from P&Z Life Coaching, and I'm coming at you with another episode of Black Business Booming. I just want to take this time to say thank you to everybody who supported and watched all my interviewees, past, present, and future. It's been good. I was just talking beforehand with my guest today and just saying like I didn't know what to expect with starting this segment, but it's been really awesome. So as always, I just encourage you to like, subscribe, share, and just spread the word about Black Business Booming, because we are here to stay. We're going to keep doing this. And I'm so excited once again to have another amazing guest to be interviewed today. Fam, again, I love this because it's making me realize how many people in my circle are doing some amazing things, just all across the world, really. So I want to give this opportunity for my beautiful guest to introduce herself and tell a little bit of background of who she is, where she's from, and her business.
Okay, hey y'all. Okay, so I'm Andrea Mathis, and most people call me Andy. But I have two blogs, Beautiful Eats and Things and Little Eats and Things. I'm also a registered dietitian nutritionist, and I've worked maybe a little bit over 8 years, like in the clinical setting, long-term care setting, and I've done that well, not recently, about 2.5 years ago. I've left my full-time job to pursue the blogs full-time. So that's where I am now. Born and raised Alabama, still here, Southern girl all the way. So right now my focus has been my two blogs and trying to just really get them up and going and moving in the right direction.
That's awesome. And, look, this is just, even before we get to what the blogs are, just a
Uh-huh.
plug on your behalf of your blogs, just amazing. Grabs you, you can't, it's hard to just pass by your blogs or anything that you put out because
Mm-hmm.
it just grips you right in.
Thank
So,
you. Yeah, that's my
so
goal.
amazing. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a great goal, doing something like that, because
Mm-hmm.
hey, if it doesn't catch you, it's just like on to the next one. So that's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. So when did you start the business, with the blogging, and what inspired you to do so?
Okay, I started it when I was still working full time as a director of nutrition, and I started it honestly because I was cooking like a whole bunch of recipes, just like just trying to cook healthier, be healthier, and I had a lot of people that was asking me like, okay, well, what's this recipe? Can you let me know the recipe? So I was thinking, well, if I had a blog, I can just have one general location to send people to. I'm like, okay, you can go look on this website for the recipes. And then like I also wanted like an outlet, because like I'm the only girl in my house, it's full of boys, so I kind of wanted something that was just kind of for me, just something that I could do kind of just to, release some stress, my own little outlet. And so I started and, just not even knowing anything about a blog. I didn't know that you could monetize, like I didn't even know anything about the blogging business. I just started because I like to cook. And like most of my recipes, they are, on the healthier side. And I try to show people how to cook some of those favorite meals, in a little bit of a healthier way. So yeah, so that's how it started. Just my passion for cooking. And yeah, I didn't know anything about this business, and I had to learn just kind of every step of the way, just trying to figure out, okay, so I got a website. So now what? Like, what else? What's the next step? So that's how I got started. Just passion for cooking.
Yeah, definitely. So
Mhm.
with Beautiful Eats and Things and Little Eats and Things, they were started different. What was the time span between you starting the two? Or did you start them at the same time?
Well, okay, so I started Beautiful Eats and Things first, and I had to you have to purchase like your domain for your website. Okay, and so what was really funny was that I purchased Little Eats and Things at the same time I purchased Beautiful Eats and Things, because I was like, I feel like maybe this is going to be something in the future. So I purchased that up front, not even realizing I was going to actually make a website. So I had those two in mind. So I started Beautiful Eats and Things first, and I had some kitty stuff on the website, but I realized that I wanted to do more stuff like with kids because I like crafts. I like, just kind of that separate stuff with all the kids things, and I didn't want to, I guess, kind of crowd the Beautiful Eats and Things website with that because I wanted to kind of keep that like the grown and sexy vibe. And
Right.
then I wanted to have like an outlet just for the kids where you have the arts and crafts and the recipes and all that stuff. So so I made Beautiful Eats and Things maybe about almost 3 years ago. And then Little Eats and Things officially became like I did the website late last year. So yeah, so but I knew firsthand that I wanted something like that. I just wasn't sure that I was gonna do it. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's
Mhm.
that's that's like a little gem you just dropped right there. A lot of times you don't know where something may
Mhm.
go, and so it's like, well, just secure that dream or that
Yeah.
idea because you
Uh-huh.
never know when it come back. So
Exactly.
I love that. So in starting the business, starting the blog, you almost touched on a little bit when you talked about when you started, but what was one of the
Mhm.
most challenging things about getting starting, or maybe that point where you said, okay, this is going to be my full-time thing? What was one of the most
Mhm.
challenging things about going full thrust into entrepreneurship?
I would say the most challenging thing was like when you get started, you think, well, no one's gonna listen to me. It's so many food blogs out there. Like, who's gonna tune into my stuff? Like, you kind of start doubting yourself, and then you also like start comparing yourself. Because like starting out, I didn't know anything about this business, so I started looking at other blogs. Which is okay. You can get inspiration, and you can, but I was looking at them to try to figure out, like, I guess, kind of how to copy their style, and I was trying to compare myself to them constantly and like, oh, they got this many followers, or they have, they're working with all these different brands, and then I'm just over here, not even doing as much. So that was a big struggle in the beginning because for one, I didn't have my voice, like I didn't know my style, so I was trying to find it from someone else's style, and then I kept comparing myself. I was like, oh well, their page has got all these followers, and they've got this and that, and I don't have this. So I questioned it at the beginning, like, well, do I need to even keep going because I'm not as good as them, and I kept comparing myself, and I had to just realize one day, like, you can't do that because you get in your own way, and that's not good. And so it kind of discouraged me at first, but I had to just realize that everybody is different and it's room for everybody in this industry, so I had to really tell myself that. So,
Yeah. So
mhm.
that man, that's again dropping gems with that too, because it's
Mhm.
always that idea in our mind that it's I say this often in just my videos and different things, and even when I'm working with clients, it's
Mhm.
you are your biggest competition.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, we will see all of the shortcomings or negatives or things that are not even negative that we make in our mind
Yeah.
before anybody says it or sees it.
Mhm.
So
Exactly.
now moving forward, getting past those initial setbacks and or hurdles,
Mhm.
roadblocks, and now you're in it. So looking at the last 3 years, what are some of the day-to-day challenges of being in business, entrepreneurship
Mhm.
with your business?
Well, I think the biggest challenge day to day is that I'm doing it all by myself, and so I'm trying to run two blogs and trying to, keep pushing them to be, just a big success. But it's hard because it's just me. I'm just by myself, and I know that a lot of blogs, and they may have, or they may outsource, help and things like that, or have employees, but I haven't. I know that I probably should eventually do that, but I haven't gotten to that point to where I feel comfortable, just trusting somebody to come in,
Right.
and I'll trust them with these my babies, because that's what they are. And so I'm doing everything myself, trying to do like my marketing, social media, everything, and that's a big challenge because I work more now than I did, at my job when I was working full time. And I love it, and it's not an issue, but I do work more since it is just me, and since I'm so driven and passionate. Like, yeah, I work all day, work all night. So,
Yeah. So
mhm,
so you're a mom. So it's like with your day-to-day challenges, it's like you're putting on your book bag every day, like of
mhm,
all the stuff with it being just you.
yeah,
So a one-woman machine.
mhm,
So now if we were to flip that and just mirroring or the opposite, the backside of the challenges, what
Mm-hmm.
is the most satisfying thing, like just day to day and about, being an entrepreneur in your business? What is the most satisfying thing?
I think just seeing it grow, because like I'll go back and kind of I had this notebook that I started, because it just had a list of my goals, kind of things that I wanted to accomplish, and like I refer back to that book a lot, and I see that I've pretty much achieved those goals that I had written down in the beginning. So it's just to see how much it's grown, and that continues to like push me and drive me to continue, to try to push both blogs to its highest potential. And yeah, it's just it's satisfying to just see how many opportunities that I have received so far, and especially somebody that knew nothing about blogging, nothing about this, still learning because I don't know everything about the blogging and all that stuff. But it's just satisfying to see that it's paying off. Like some of my hard work is actually paying off.
Right. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's awesome. Because it's one of those things where you even look back, a part of you still stays at that initial Andy of day one. Like,
Hmm.
am I gaining traction? Is anyone paying
Yeah.
attention?
Yeah.
So like you say, when you reflect, especially, you dropped another gem with that answer of, I tell people, so important to write things down,
Hmm.
because trying to dig it out of your mind and say, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 months ago when I started, where
Yeah.
was I? Even just mentally, what were the thought
Hmm.
processes going on in my mind? And
Yeah.
when you have it written down, you go back, you say, oh my God, like
Yeah.
I have accomplished some things. So I think that's
Yeah.
huge.
I'm big on writing stuff down. I mean, like my husband, he's all about electronic stuff. Like he'll put everything in his phone, and I'm like, I have to have that paper, that pen, like I have to write it down. And I don't know, I guess I'm just old school that way, but I just like to keep my notebook and I keep, goals, things that I want to achieve, and I like to refer back to that. It's just something about opening my notebook and just, seeing that.
Yeah, yeah, it's something
Hmm.
tangible about turning those pages.
Yeah.
It's just like a book. Like,
Uh-huh.
hey, movies are great, but that book, just turning
Yeah.
those pages and just diving into that, or
Hmm.
actually seeing. Sometimes I look at my writing and it just speaks to me like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, this was a different day, Mike. That
Exactly.
reflection. That's so awesome. So your advice to someone that's starting out, this is,
Mhm.
they're either on the fence with entrepreneurship, and in your
Yeah.
case, maybe the aspiring blogger, um,
Mhm.
or someone that just started. What would be some advice that you would give someone that's they're looking out the front door to step into that
Mhm.
world of entrepreneurship? What is some advice that you would
Yeah.
give someone in that position?
I would say, well, I would say that it takes time, so you have to have patience. And I know some people like, you get so excited about, starting a business and then you have all these goals, but some people think that you're going to achieve those goals like in a couple of weeks. Like some people think they're going to make some quick money, and then you get discouraged when it doesn't happen in that quick time frame. And I feel like you have to understand that sometimes, it takes patience. It may take a longer journey than someone else. Like if you're trying to compare yourself, like you can't look at somebody and say, well, it only took them this amount of time, but it's taken me, longer. Like you have to have patience and know that your journey may be different from someone else. And like you have to, I say, appreciate and enjoy the journey, because like even if it may take you longer to get there, like enjoy those steps that it's taking you to get there. Like appreciate them and learn from them. And that was like a big thing. Like when I started, just I didn't rush it, but I was like, okay, I want this to move quickly,
Right.
But when you do that, I feel like sometimes you may kind of lose your passion a little bit because you're too busy focusing on kind of some negative stuff, and you can't do that. Like you have to, take the journey for what it is, enjoy it, learn from it, and just continue to push yourself. Don't give up, don't get discouraged, and set realistic goals. Like if you're starting a business, like set goals that are realistic, that are attainable. Because if you're setting some goals that like are just crazy, like you want to make all this cash in 2 days, of course you're going to
Right.
be discouraged if it doesn't happen. So like make goals that are realistic, and that are attainable. So I would say that's probably my
Yeah,
bit of advice.
that's
Hmm.
awesome. Because I mean, all that is sound, and I tell people that I encourage people to, go back and see some of the other interviews and those to come, because you'll hear that common thread.
Yeah.
And which lets you know that, hey, it's sound advice. It's like when I talk to the youth, it's like, man, I know we all sound like a broken record, but it's the truth, because we were all at that age where an adult would be talking to us like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. But it's because they've been there. I love that. All that advice was so good and so on point with that starting out phase, because everybody, look, I know I'm guilty of it, thinking, okay, yeah, I know who I am and what I offer, and it's boom, this is going to connect. The minute the minute I launch my website, everybody's going to come to it. They're going to share it and all this stuff, and it's like,
because you're so excited and passionate, and you feel like everybody else is going to join in with that. And, and you have to realize some people may or may not like what you're doing. Like you may not have that support that you think that you may have. I mean, and it's okay. You just have to keep going.
So how did you feel when you first published your website and you got that first blog out, and then almost like looking back at it? How did it feel? Because I know it's just like you were saying, like when you're so excited. I don't think people realize the excitement of that first time, like that first website. I know when I first released mine, it's like, yes. And it's went through so many changes now. But it's just that feeling of yes.
Yeah, it was so exciting because I took off work. I took off work that day, like when I officially launched my website. So it was like a deal to me, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is the big day. I was announcing it on social media. And I had a lot of people, to view it and say, okay, this is cool. So I'm thinking that's gonna continue, the momentum, and I'm gonna keep getting that. But the next day and the day after that, so not many people were visiting my site.
Right.
And I was like, what happened? I got some good stuff here and no one's, visiting my site. And then I started getting a little angry because I'm like, okay, y'all said that y'all, enjoyed it. So what's going on? And that was kind of getting in the way of, of me continuing things. I'm like, well, no one's gonna read it anyway. Why do I need to continue to write blog posts? But but you just have to keep doing it. But I was really pumped in the beginning, and I was upset that everybody didn't share that and continue with that for weeks after that.
Right. Yeah. And that was kind of a bonus question that I thought about, because when you said that, I was like, yes, it's that thought of when you first start, you're excited. It's like, yes, this is what I've been waiting on and working for. And you put it out there, and it's that constant theme with entrepreneurship. It's like, yes, I'm here now. Everybody's going to love it. So, the initial thing is that congrats. Oh my God, so proud of you. So you're like, oh yeah, all those people, they're going to be sharing. They're going to be looking.
No. Yeah, it don't. It doesn't continue.
That's awesome. So now with you being at full swing into moving forward, what's next for Andy, Beautiful Eats and Things, Little Eats and Things? What's next for you in your business journey?
Well, for Beautiful Eats and Things, I'm thinking about doing a virtual consulting practice or something like that. I'm thinking about it. I'm not actually sure, only because I've started TikTok, love TikTok, obsessed with it. And I've gotten a lot of engagement from there, people asking, well, do you see clients? Do you see, are you taking patients right now? And I'm like, no, I didn't plan on it, but I've had a lot of requests asking, could they talk to me to help them with their relationship with food? And I was like, I didn't know that was such a big need. And a lot of people think that with dietitians, it's just helping people with weight loss and diets, but it's so much more to that. A lot of people have, just bad relationships with food, whether it's binge eating, whether it's, eating disorders, whether it's emotional eating. A lot of people have been asking for help just with that relationship. And I was like, okay, well, if I may need to think about this, I may need to, see about maybe starting this. So that's possible. I may start that. I'm still thinking about it, still thinking about how I can do that in addition to everything else. So that's something. And then I wanted to do a cookbook, so we'll see about that. I didn't realize that the cookbook process takes a while. So that might be in the works. Have to, think about that one. And I want to do more merchandise. So right now, my shirt, Be Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have that. Thank you. I have that in my shop right now. but I wanted to add some more merchandise and some more products. So that should be coming hopefully maybe at the end of this year. So we'll see about that.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's, and you know, you mentioned TikTok, and you know,
Mhm.
you are one of the TikTokers I go to for just ideas, because
Yeah.
it's amazing how, you know, for me, I don't know about
Uh-huh.
you, I joined just to have fun at
Yeah,
first.
I did too.
And it was a total different name. I think at first, for the maybe first couple of weeks, it was user 9777, you know, whatever
Yeah.
the generated
Uh-huh.
thing was. So then I said, okay, let me change the name. So then I thought about it, I was like, okay, Mike, this can be a platform. So then I
Yeah.
changed it, Coach Mike. And it's like, you know, the algorithm is so interesting there,
Mhm.
where your traction can gain so fast. And then, you know, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, wow. So then, you, like you said, you get people messaging you about certain
Mhm.
things. And so, and yeah, so I look like certain TikToks I go to. So let me see how they're
Yeah.
infusing this professionalism into
Uh-huh.
this just fun platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It
awesome.
yeah, it's fun. I even though like when I try to record dances and stuff, like my husband he hates it and he he'll like cringe and he's like, "Are you really gonna post that?" I'm
He
like,
would.
"Why not?" Like I'm just he knows me by now. Like I'm a silly. I like to have fun and yeah, I'm not the best dancer, but I will post a dance video on TikTok. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
because why not? You know?
Yeah. And I think that's the beauty of it. Hey, it's like your shirt. Be you,
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
beautiful. It's
Exactly.
just,
Exactly.
it's amazing. Just that fun. You're really sharing with people who you are,
Mhm.
you know, and
Yeah.
that, I think that goes far more to me on all social media than
Mhm.
trying to present something that's not really there.
Yeah.
Because that can wear off. That can
Mhm.
that can be tiring.
Definitely.
So I want you to just take this opportunity and just let everybody know just all the ways they can find you, your blog,
Mhm.
any information, anything that you want the people to know. Just take this time and just let people know how to see everything, that all the amazing things that
Mhm.
you're doing.
Okay. Well, first visit both sites, Beautiful Eats and Things and Little Eats and Things, and subscribe to both sites. For Beautiful Eats and Things, if you subscribe, I have a free one pot healthy cookbook. So be sure that they go and subscribe to that and get the free cookbook. Also visit my shop on Beautiful Eats and Things. I have this shirt, and then I also have another shirt for registered dietitians. So any dietitians out there, I have a curvy, proud registered dietitian shirt that's in my shop, and along with some other few of my favorite items that I have there. And just just I guess visit my website on the regular just to see updates for different recipes, cocktails. I just had a new cocktail that I posted last week. So just visit the site, look around, email me questions. I always respond. So yeah, just join my community.
Yes, love it, love it, love it. And listen, I just want to tell you, thank you so much for doing this interview.
Thank you.
I appreciated every single person I have on. I really do appreciate it, because this is, I say it in probably every episode, but it was just a vision that
Mhm.
I had, that I wanted to
Mhm.
give a platform in that space to highlight Black businesses that, you know, of
Yeah.
course now the timing was just so ripe, because it's trendy now, right?
Mhm.
Support Black business, buy Black, all
Sure.
this is trendy. But
Yeah.
it was just, you know, it was a vision that I had last year, and I spoke it a lot. I was
Mhm.
speaking into existence. I'm going to start this, going to start this. And, you know, it was getting towards, I guess, February, March. Then this pandemic started in full
Mhm.
swing. And I was like, you know what? Okay, now the time is right. Let's still do it. You know, let's
Mhm.
do it. And
Yeah.
so I really do appreciate you for taking the time to do this with
Yeah,
me
of
today.
course. Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Like, this is great. I'm glad that you're doing this, bring so much attention to Black businesses. So, yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem. Listen, people, of course, I'll have everything, all the information of how you can find out more about Andy's businesses and her blogs below in the description. And as always, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, we'll see you next time on another episode of Black Business Booming. Peace.